everybody, it's Kelly and I'm back with another layout, and I'm going to work with these two square photos today. So I'm going to put those two photos on that. It's yellow, but it's a really it's really more gold, and it's a very brown gold. That's from the Chamel Box of Crayons collection. It's the Say Yes Often paper, which is actually the cut apart, which is why it's so weirdly shaped. So I really love this dot paper, this rainbow dot background from Chamel Box of Crayons. It's the cut here paper. I have wanted to use this paper, I cannot tell you how many times, and every time I try to use it, I have a hard time doing it. So I decided I was going to do it today because I love this paper so much, and because there's that colorful mat in the back, it makes sense to use something very colorful. So right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make some border strips, and then also that rainbow gecko paper work, or chameleon paper work. It's the Chamel Box of Crayons all change paper, I think. Yeah, all change paper, which is the chameleon paper. And then I wanted to use some border strips on that. And you're going to see me go through a process of trying to figure out what to do. So this actually was not a border strip. It was a cut apart from a cut apart sheet. And it was also kind of hard. One of the reasons I didn't use this paper is it's got a cream background, because this collection, some of the backgrounds were cream and some of them were white, and there's not a lot of cream backgrounds out in scrapbook anymore. So I found it really hard because these are some of the last pieces of paper that I have left from this collection. And I went through the weekend that I made this, and this was a while ago by the time you see this. I was really wanting to scrapbook with Chamel because she had just announced that she was not going to be making paper lines any longer for American Crafts. On top of that, this was during the pandemic, during our stay-at-home order in Wisconsin, where I live, and she had a big hashtag out there called Scrapbook Rainbows at the time. Now, while I'm voicing this over, it's still during that time. By the time you see this, hopefully this will be long over. So anyway, so what I'm trying to do now is I think I need a little bit more separation between that yellow paper and the background paper, because they're too much of the same color. So I went through a couple different colors here, and then I found this navy paper that I really liked. It has fireworks on it, and I didn't want it too much of a reveal because I really didn't want to see the pattern. The pattern wouldn't have made sense, but it has the purple and a pink color in it, and the navy and an aqua in the background. So that all made sense to work with the background paper. So here I am again, still trying to figure out what colors to use here. Everything that I'm doing with the border strips is just calling way too much attention to themselves. So I like the yellow now. I like that. I'm bringing a little bit more of that yellow in. Trying again with some blues, but not liking that. I decide, yep, I really like the yellow. So I'm inking all of these strips to help them stand out. They're all from the same collection, but it's this is such a bold background, and the chameleon paper is so bold that it needs a lot of help. And when I'm looking at this right now, all I'm seeing is that blue strip. I think if it had been on the other side, maybe it would have been a little bit different. I might not have just seen the blue strip, because it would have been more on the cool side of the paper. Right now it's on the warm side of the paper. By the way, the sticky note is there because my grandson and granddaughter are playing. Here we go. This is where I figure it out. I see this green paper. Now, I don't have enough to make a full strip, but I have enough that I can fake a full strip. And once I find this, I know it's the right thing to use. The green paper is right next door to it. You know, the back part of the green background is right next door. So it blends much better than anything else I had been trying before. Everything else was way too bold. This is sitting kind of in the same color family area that these strips are sitting in. So that's why that finally worked in my head. So anyway, the reason that Post-it note is on there is my granddaughter, who it's covering, you can just see the top of her head there, is playing in just her pull-up. So don't want to put that out on the internet. That just doesn't seem like a smart thing to do. All right, so now I decided that I didn't get this quite straight, so I have to bring that back a little bit. And when these photos were posted to Facebook, my daughter-in-law posted way number 24. And this was during our stay-at-home order. And they were trying to figure out how to keep the kids occupied. So one of the things that they did was they bought them this play mat so they could play hopscotch. And my second oldest grandson is totally enamored with numbers. He's 4 at the time of this, and also he is now, but he was just turned 4 here, and loves letters and numbers. His little sister is starting to learn letters and numbers right now, so at that point, so she really loved it as well. And then I used the chipboard alphabet from Box of Crayons, which is called Crayon Box, just so you know where those came from. So now I'm kind of playing around with different things to use here in the collections. I want things that are colorful, and I found that little cut apart that says be absolutely ridiculous. That came from the Box of Crayons Say Yes Often paper, and so did that lemon. I cut the lemon out of another piece of paper. The toucan and the dog there are from the die cuts from Box of Crayons. And so I'm just kind of playing around, and then I found that little sucker that's from Box of Crayons as well. And then as I was going through the sticker book, which is where that chameleon was from, I found the chameleon, and I liked him better than the bird there just because he was really green like that strip of paper. So that's why that went there. And then I found this hello sticker in the sticker book as well. It was one of the sticker, like the folders that they had. Now the bad part about this is, and I know Shamel even complained about this, that these stickers did not stay sticky. I don't know what it is with AC. Things are either way too sticky or they're not sticky enough. All right, so we have that, and then I'm going back to the die cuts here, and I found that die cut that says when it rains it pours, and that's more of a reference to the craziness of that time. And they have 4 kids, so it was the 2 of them with 4 kids in the house together, and they all had the virus as well. Not at this point, they had already had it. So keeping those children occupied was a full-time job, and only one of them is actually in school, and he was at this point being homeschooled. So it really was a little bit of chaos around their house. So I'm just pulling things together. That dog, by the way, if I didn't say it, is from the die cuts as well. I'm pulling some Ellie Studio little journaling spots and that kind of stuff, kind of trying to decide what I'm going to journal on here, because I do want to just kind of say what she said about the about why this mat was there. I also happen to know we are still, as I'm voicing this over, we are still under a stay-at-home order, at least for now, and they have now ordered a bounce house as well, which will be at their house sometime later, sometime the week following that I'm taping this. So they play outside a lot, but they're running out of things to do. So I did find a little journaling piece there from Ellie's Studio. That actually came from the back of their journaling card, one of their journaling card packages at one point. They used to print them on there. I don't know that they do that any longer, but when they did, I would sometimes cut those out and use them if they were big enough. And then I found that little dog in the sticker book. He matched that other little dog. And so the reason I'm doing that is they have a puppy right now who at this point in time is about 7 months old. So 4 kids and a puppy. And everybody has to stay at home. So now I'm grabbing these glitter enamel dots from the box of crayons. And then I will also, you're not going to see this, but I did add like a little puffy dog sticker and some lemons from the puffy stickers from box of crayons. So you can see that here. There's the still shot and a couple of detail shots, you guys. Hope you are all well, and I'll be back with another layout again soon. Bye, everybody.